Hi, everybody. Welcome inside the hangar as we get set for a single matchup tonight, but it's a big one. Georgia Highlands in town to take on your Jets. Both teams coming in with an 8-6 overall record as we take a look at the starting five for both. Johnson, Payne, Thompson, Baldwin, and Lucina on the floor to start things for Georgia Highland. And then for South Georgia Tech, Ewing, Bartellus, Dixon, Fitzgerald, and Brown, all part of the starting lineup. As the ball is tipped out of bounds, and it will apparently belong to Georgia Highlands to begin this one. How big is this game? Well, it could determine it and Saturday's game combined for South Georgia Tech. Could determine whether they're hosting or are on the road for a quarterfinal game. What we do know where the Jets are concerned is they are in. The question is, do they get to play at the house for a game in postseason, or are they going to have to take to the highway and sophomore day on Saturday be their last one here in the hangar? That is Dixon working into the left side, out front to Fitzgerald. Launches a three, just a little bit strong. Rebound belonging to Asina. Given over to Johnson. Both teams with an 8-6 mark. There are 8 teams that will play in the quarterfinals. And the top 4 will host. So that's why this game is so key. This one in the Gordon game on Saturday. Ewing sending it over to Dixon. Good to see Dixon back onto the floor. Last time we were here about a week and a half ago, he took a tumble at the end of the first half and then came out of the game and never reappeared. So it is good to know that he's okay and back in as you've got a blocking foul. And I believe that'll be charged to Baldwin. So it'll be put in play from the baseline. Yep, that is foul number 1 on Baldwin. You got a log jam at 8-6. You got 4 teams who are 8-6 with a couple of conference games left. But as I mentioned, the good thing where the Jets are concerned is they control their own destiny. They've got Georgia Highlands, they've got Gordon. And if you win both of those, no matter what anybody else does, then you're a top 4 team and you are in. You lose 2 and you probably aren't playing at home on Tuesday in the quarterfinals. You lose 1 of 2, and then you're probably going to have a little help playing at home. Asina with a miss. Rebounded by Ewing. To the other end of the floor and a foul committed. And Ewing will have an opportunity to tie it up at the stripe. Well, that's the second on Baldwin. So there have been 2 Georgia Highland fouls, and they've both been charged the same guy, Cameron Baldwin. And Ewing with an opportunity to tie it up. Well, now the opportunity is to draw to within 1. Chai Shannon into the game as Cameron Baldwin comes out. Will likely sit a while. Picks up his second foul. Less than 2.5 into the game. Ewing goes 1 of 2. That is taken away by Bartellus, and he'll jam it in. So the steal and score for Bartellus. And South Georgia Tech will take their first lead of the game at the 17-24 mark. Sent down low, Osina taken away. That is Fitzgerald with it. Headed the other way on a 3-on-3 break. Rebounded by Thompson. Sent to Payne. Payne near the timeline this side. And it goes to Osina. And Osina will get fouled. These two teams have already met once. They met up in Rome, Georgia. And it was a Georgia Highlands win on that particular night, 102-93. So the Jets trying to exact a little revenge. Georgia Highlands has not been a particularly good road team. 4-6 on the road. Lead flip-flops back over to GHC. Fitzgerald to Ewing. Dixon wide open down low. Able to recover and block it was Shannon. Put back not there. Osina able to come up with it. Into the paint, the miss by Johnson. Brown able to save it on the floor to Ewing. And then there is a reach by Johnson. Well, that'll be the first non-Baldwin foul. As Johnson picks up the personal. He'll come out of the game. Josh Cooper, no, check that. It is Osina who comes out. And Josh Cooper checks in. Put in play to Ewing. Works it right side, down low, feeds into the corner. Fitzgerald there, brings it just outside the lane. Banks it, but walked first. So Fitzgerald walked, puts it back into the hands of the Chargers. Shannon with a miss. Rebounded by Brown. Back over it goes to Ewing. Dixon to Ewing. Back over to Dixon. Martellus with a handoff to Fitzgerald. Into the paint. Over into the corner. Brown fakes left, goes right off the window. He'll get to that lead. Flip-flopping back over to the Jets. We'll seesaw right early in this one. Tipped away from Payne, able to go back and get it. Then you got to step out of bounds, and you got a media timeout. 15:31 to play. Half number one, Jets by one.
Georgia Technical College, where we make it happen.
Whether your dream is to become a welder, a nurse, a restaurant owner, electrician, or aircraft mechanic, South Georgia Technical College can help you make it happen. SGTC has over 200 associate degree, diploma, and technical certificate of credit programs of study available. Visit our website at southgatech.edu for more information or to apply, or call 800-928-0283.
So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen.
That is Daryl Bonsdad in the stands. Over from France to see a couple of games. Had an opportunity to meet him prior to the game. Great guy, great gentleman. And Daryl Bod, I am sure, will be on the floor shortly, typically about your sixth man. But good to have Daryl Bond's dad from France here. And hello to the folks watching there in France tonight. Is it tonight there, by the way? Bartelis with the drive and the 2. I need to check that out. It could be tomorrow in France. As Bartelis goes to the line. Well, another one of these services, these handheld computers, my iPhone, can provide that I never really thought about when they first came out. I got to admit, when they first came out on the market, I'm like, what do I need one of those for? Now I'm like, how did I ever live without you? Let's see if we can find out what time it is in France. As it is given over to Fitzgerald. To the other end of the floor. Now you're going, hey, pay attention to the basketball. Worry about the time there later. It's 12:17 a.m. Wow. Y'all are up really, really early or really, really late watching basketball in Paris. Speaking of Bond, here he comes into the ball game. Also checking in is Matt Mabali. And it's Jaquan Nelson checking in for Georgia Highlands. Georgia Highlands, by the way, coached by interim coach David Archer, if that name sounds familiar to those who have watched GCAA Basketball over the years. He is the former head coach at Chattahoochee Tech, which discontinued its basketball program in 2017. And now he is a Parks and Recreation Director in the Cartersville, Georgia area. But David Archer back on the bench. Good to see him. When I spoke with him prior to the game, didn't I say that happened about 4 years ago, 5 years ago? He said it was 17, which is 8 years ago. My, how time flies. In play to Fitzgerald. Give it over to Bod. Elix Giacomin into the game, 2. And there was a bump of Bod by Shannon on the trip in. And Bod's first points potentially coming from the strike. So Daryl Pod going to the line, 218 points this year from Pod. A 66% free throw shooter. Jets at home a little bit over the 500 mark at 5-4. One of two goes by. Rebounded by Payne. Trying to feed it down low, overthrown into the corner. Yakiman able to come up with it. Zips it down to Fitzgerald for 2. Payne with it, top side. One game tonight, the ladies have the night off. And if you were wondering why every conference game isn't a doubleheader, well, there are a variety of reasons. One of which, where Georgia Highlands is concerned, they don't have a ladies team. About a year and a half removed to maybe 2 years from an appearance in the national championship game. And then their women's basketball program is no more. And a foul on the inbounds. Yakiman getting a hand on Thompson. But they had a stellar women's basketball program under Coach Brandon Harrell. But you know how it is. Time goes by and things change. That'll roll out of bounds in the corner and got away from Thompson. And will be Jet basketball. Ewing back in. And Fitzgerald going to the sidelines. And of course, the other reason that there might not be a men's game and a ladies' game is that the ladies have a different conference schedule from the perspective of the number of times they play the conference opponents. Men play them twice. Ladies play them 3 times. Six-point Jet lead. Nelson with it out front. Give goes to Shannon. Lost into the paint, picked up by Bartelis. He'll go to the other end of the floor, take it into the paint, draw the foul, and shoot free throws. That'll be the first foul on Cooper. Bartelis to the stripe, 6'5" freshman from Lake Worth, Florida. Number 1 rebounder in the conference. Nobody else averages double digits on rebounds except Bartelis. And he is a 65% free throw shooter. Oh for 2 and a roll out of bounds off Mapale. Josh Cooper into the game for the Chargers. Give it to Payne, who walks it down the floor. Halftime, a conversation with Dr. John Wadford coming up. President at South Georgia Tech, Nelson from the top of the key. And he'll drop in a big 3. Give it to Bartelis. Off the glass for 2. Down the floor to Shannon. Spin move outside of the paint, trying to create a little separation between him and Bartelis. And Bartelis snagging the rebound. Fires over to Bond. Off the glass for Bond. 3 Bond points, 8-point Jet lead. Payne with it in the paint. And it's Cooper trying to get away from Mapale. Off the rim, rebounded by Bond. Goes to Yakiman, brings it baseline. Nifty little move to get around Isaiah Logan. And the Jets, as we get near the 10-minute mark, have built a lead of 10. Off the rim, other end of the floor, too strong with the toss to Yakiman. And that will get us to media break number 2. A little different than media break number 1 when it was a 1-point lead. Jets by 10 at the 10:35 mark. Just about all Wayne Jones County. Diving catches shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Perhaps got it. Long throw over, and he got it. I believe that is Cheyenne Preston over in the stands, was doing a little dancing, a little singing. Enjoying the music. Here at the Hangar in America's 21-11 lead, and I think even more than the music, Jets enjoying the advantage here. Opening half of play. And as I mentioned, in a huge game. Got a lot of ramifications. Currently, you've got Georgia Highlands, Gordon, East Georgia State, and South Georgia Tech. All knotted up at 8-6. And as I mentioned, I'm thinking, and of course my thinking is a little warped, and it's always unofficial. But I'm thinking that if the Jets win the next 2 games, they would at least, no matter what, be a top 4 team, which means they host. And why would I think that? Well, Georgia Highlands is an 8-6 team. So they would have 7 losses. Gordon, who South Georgia Tech plays on Saturday, is an 8-6 team. And thus they would have 7 losses, which means no matter what anybody else did, South Georgia Tech could finish no worse than 4th. But they got to win both games. Today against Highlands, Saturday against Gordon. To get more basketball here at the Hangar, men-wise, ladies will have more basketball here. They end the regular season on Friday against Andrew College, and then based on their top seed in the conference will host. As you got a quick foul. And that is going to be charged to Cooper. And that is 3 fouls on Cooper. Well, you got Baldwin with 2 and Cooper now with 3. And Cooper will stay on the floor, but I'm not sure for how long with those 3 personal. Baldwin came out at the 17-24 mark. Bond lost it near the elbow, able to get it back. Shot no good. Mabali put back where the left hand is. Hand it over to Shannon, then back to the other side of the floor to Nelson. Cooper out to set the screen. Nelson sending it over to Logan. Logan back into the paint to Cooper. Cooper lost it, trying to get it back. Yakimet had it. And when he came up in the seated position, had lost the basketball. And I think a possession error is what has it back into the hands of South Georgia Tech. Ewing bringing it down the floor. Giving over to Yakimet. Brown back to Yakimet. That is Bartelis. High off the glass for 2. And that's already 11 in the game for Bartelis. And you got to carry. It'll be South Georgia Tech basketball. Yakimet to put it in play. Lobbed over to Bartelis, couldn't get to it. Picked off by Osina. Logan. Swatted away by Ewing. Bond coming up with a loose ball, and then there is a foul. And let's see who this one is on. That is going to be charged to Isaiah Logan. And that will put Darryl Pott at the line. Rest of the standings, by the way, South Georgia Tech 11-4. Albany Tech is 10-5. And then you got the quartet of teams at 8-6. Central Georgia Tech 7-7. And Andrew College and Southern Crescent Tech battling for the last spot in the quarterfinals. Into the paint, Shannon. There's a whistle. And I'm waiting to see who that is called on. That is going to be on Martellus. A lot of sports this week here on JockJive. Tomorrow, basketball in Huntsville in the ACCC quarterfinals. We have got softball in Andalusia. Softball in somewhere else. Coastal North, I think, Monroeville. Well, there's a lengthy conversation going on over at the scores table. Georgia Highlands basketball brought in from the baseline after the lengthy discussion. Foul called as Logan puts up the jumper. And Logan will shoot. Quick reminder, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, be sure to. The March goal, 6,500. So I guess we need about 492. Trying to get to 10,000 by the end of the year. And right at 500 a month would do it. Rebounded by Fitzgerald. That is Pond. Shot rejected. Loose ball grabbed by Osinu. Able to kick it out to Williams. Shannon working his way to the other side of the floor. Stolen away. Bond's got it. Gives it to Brown. Brown jamming it in gently for two. Nelson topside with it. Fades for the charity stripe for two. Nelson was a pretty big gun the last time these two teams met. As Bond's swing pass goes down low to Ewing. Nelson scored a total of 24 when these teams met in Rome. Timeout on the floor, 12-point lead. If every time we take a media timeout, the lead grows, well, it will turn out to be a pretty good day for the Jets.
Of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Choose from over 100 affordable degree and certificate programs that fit your budget and schedule. Earn the same degree as you would on campus, with the same affordable tuition rate for every state. UA Online. Advance your career and change your life. Get started today at online.ua.edu.
There is one of our South Georgia Tech faithful. No, I have no name. I don't know that we've ever formally been introduced, but I always see her here on the other side of the floor. By the way, there is a Christmas tournament. Happens between Christmas and New Year's each year. You might want to go ahead and make vacation plans for Americas. Not only do you get great basketball, but there are a lot of interesting things locally. Jimmy Carter born, now buried in Plains nearby. You got Andersonville, the huge, what was once a Civil War prisoner of war camp. Now a massive cemetery. You got the haunted Windsor, a hotel downtown. Lindbergh's first solo flight originated from here. Dan Reeves, a native of Americus. Mary Wilson buried here. So yeah, a lot of places to visit. A lot of things to see and do. It's a big three launched by Thompson. Given over to Dixon, who was checked back into the game. Thompson to Ewing, and Ewing jams it in with authority. Payne with a Thompson. 12-point Jets lead. Regular season winding down. Jets 8-6 in the conference, 10-18 overall. But of their last 12 games, when they kind of got the loss or losing streak behind them, speaking of behind them, that was behind Dixon, and he didn't know it was coming. But in the 12 games since, they are 8-4. Playing their best basketball at the end of the year. And really, when you look at what has happened in the GCAA this year, lob to Osina, and he'll jam it in. There's just not, a clear-cut favorite to win the conference. Anybody, Jets included, could take it all. Fitzgerald with a handoff to Ewing. Give it to Brown and then to Dixon. Ewing into the paint. Banks it off the glass. It will bounce out into the hands of Johnson. Lobbed into the corner. Thompson able to track it down. To the glass and laid in by Thompson. And all of a sudden, that lead's not as formidable. Given to Brown, handoff, fake to Fitzgerald. Given over to Bond. Wow, that was a needle threader. Fitzgerald banks it in. Thompson gets tripped up. And it is Fitzgerald committing the foul. Abani coming back into the game. Here comes Joshua Langfell's in. Coming out of the game, Fitzgerald had a chance too prior to the game to talk with Von Prosser. He's got an appointment on the 15th, I believe it is, to get a progress report on the ankle. Tipped out, going the other way, and then jammed in by Ewing again. Back to a double-digit lead. Jaden French, that new face on the floor that you see for the Chargers. And Baldwin, playing with a couple of personals, gets fouled. Checks back into the game. 2.5 into the game, he had 2 fouls. That'll be the first foul on Mabale. Inside, 4 to go. We take a break with the Jets up by 10. There's another member of the Lady Jets, Mio Sakano. Watching the game from the stage here. Brian, the trainer, nearby as well. There's Joshua Langfell's got a headgear on, which would indicate that's the first time I've seen him wearing the headgear that sustained some type of nose injury. So playing with the mask for protection's sake. Cameron Baldwin knocking down the front end of the now 2. Baldwin, a 51% free throw shooter. He is the number 3 rebounder in the league. So you got a couple of the top 5 rebounders. Well, officially top 3. And he and Bartelis. Giving the Langfells back to Ewing. Whipped to Bond, down low, Ewing. And the foul committed by French. In the GCAA, the host for the semis and championship is the highest remaining seed after the quarterfinals. So in essence, that means you might be going anywhere. Could be going to Waycross. Could be going to Albany. Could be coming here. Might be going to Swainsboro. Could be Rome. And we'll find out after next Tuesday's play. Off on the 3 try from the top of the key by Johnson, but the putback's there. Well, check that. Did that drop in? Wasn't a putback. It was a drop in from long range. I sold it short and looked the other way. Went on to something else and it dropped in over to Langfells. Down low Ewing, and there's another jam. 3 for 3 in the jam department. Out of the corner comes Baldwin, brings it to the glass. Mabali with the rebound, but there is a foul on Mabali. So the 6'11" freshman from Cameroon picking up his second foul. Baldwin to the stripe. One more for Baldwin. He will go 1 of 2. Turn it into a single-digit ball game. Dixon into the paint, lost by Jaden Simmons, who has checked into the game. That'll go back court. Chargers thought it had been touched by a Jet. The officials say no. And it will belong to South Georgia Tech. Dixon to put it in play. Right at 2 minutes left in the half. Well, Ewing not only short-range jams, but long-range bombs in his repertoire. He's got 13 in the game. Johnson launching the three. In play to Fitzgerald, back to Dixon. "90 seconds away from a conversation with Dr. John Wadford. As it is stolen. And again, points from Johnson, this time the lay-in. And that lead reduced to 7. Fitzgerald, a little too strong with the screen. I guess he got there late and just could not stop the momentum. He'll come out of the game after picking up his second personal. Bond coming back in. Nelson back over to Payne. Drive into the paint, trying to swat it away was Dixon. He didn't get a piece of it, but the shot misses Bond on the other end of the floor. Leans in, tipped, rebounded by Payne. Sprints to the opposite end, and it's jammed in. And the Chargers cut the lead to 5. Ewing in and out with the three. Bond has it tipped away from the backside by Payne. And there is a timeout on the floor with a tick left in the half. As the Jets try to set something up that results in 2 or 3. To be exact, 1.5 seconds left in the half. Jets to put it in play from the baseline. Dixon doing the honors. And you got a foul on the inbounds. And that'll be charged to French. And apparently the foul was called prior to the inbounds because the clock did not budge. And Ewing going to the strike. Ewing from Augusta, Georgia. Hitting both. Thrown to the sidelines, launched to the other end of the floor. It comes up short. And that will get us to halftime. Jets by double digits at various points in the first half, but at the half, the lead is 7. Our conversation with Dr. John Watford coming up as part of our halftime feature. It is good to have with us at halftime Dr. John Watford, president of South Georgia Tech. Doctor, how are you?
I'm doing great, Robert. How are you doing today?
I am doing good as well. Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk. I know we do this about once a year, so it's become a routine.
That's great. I always enjoy talking to you, and it's always fun to talk about great things at South Georgia Tech and, of course, our great men's and women's athletic programs in our Jets and Lady Jets.
Let me ask you this before we even get started on questions about South Georgia Tech, and I've been asking this of various individuals. It just feels like to me there is kind of a renewed or growing interest in junior college athletics. And that might be exclusive to this year. Does that seem to be true at events that you attend?
I really feel it too. People are beginning to respect the value of coming to a 2-year school. We've even had some of the recruits' family where the students were being recruited by 4-year D1 schools, and because their families were involved in athletics and at the college level and on even into the professional level, they wanted their young person to come to a JUCO school because if you go from straight out of high school into that D1 school, unless you are a superstar, and I mean a really big superstar, you're not going to get much play time. And a lot of things could happen during that redshirt year or the freshman year or even the sophomore year. But when you come to a JUCO school and you are that superstar in high school, your playing time is going to be a lot more increased. And of course, more play time you get, the better you get, the more experience. So from that side of it, I have seen an especially renewed interest in 2-year opportunities.
And let me say, too, to the fan, I say this often as well. If you don't go to a junior college athletic event, there's a good chance you are missing somebody that is going to be playing at the professional level at some point. And South Georgia Tech, a perfect example of that with Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder played his ball there, and, man, he hit the big time and played in the NBA for a number of years. Heck, he may still be. I don't know.
I believe he is.
But so you're missing out if you don't go check out a JUCO event.
Well, and, we have great players. And I say we, at South Georgia Tech we do, but in all of these colleges that we compete with, it's fascinating to see the level of talent that comes out on the courts. And a lot of our locals have realized that. I know you've seen it when you're at the games, and And you see the fans that are out there, and it's not just people that are directly connected with South Georgia Tech, even though a lot of them are, and we love to have those. But there's a lot that just love the sport and love athletics and come out just to see the talent, not only here at South Georgia Tech, but from the other colleges as well.
All right, let's talk about sports in South Georgia Tech. On the ladies' side, you've got a coach who is now in his second year, and your AD as well, and off to a great start.
Yep.
So you got to be pleased with that hire.
I am so pleased with Jason Carpenter has hit the ground running. He already had some great coaching experience. The athletic director, administrative side of it was a little new to him, but he's very mature. He's very intuitive and very smart. So all of those things translate to a great administrator. So he's doing a great job on both sides. But I love the way he connects with the students, the players. He communicates so well with our faculty and staff because a coach has to do those things. And then I've seen him with recruits and their families. And, that's a critical part of coaching is being able to relate and understand what those recruits are thinking, what their family members are thinking when they're coming to look at our college in hopes that their student might come. So he's got all those boxes checked, and I'm looking forward to a continued great season with Jason at the helm.
And on the other side of the court, on the men's side, Chris has been there in South Georgia Tech, I think 12 or 13 years as a whole. Not that long as a head coach,
right?
But definitely he is part of the reason there's kind of a family atmosphere at South Georgia Tech.
He really is. Chris brings so much to the table. He has that very even keel demeanor. Yes, just like any good coach, he's gonna when it's time to get your back hair up, he'll get his back hair up. But it's not a every 5-minute thing with Chris. He's going to do it when it's necessary. And he's fun to watch coach. Some coaches are very laid back, and I would say Chris is a little laid back too. But I enjoy watching him coach because I see a lot of leadership, and I see a lot of respect from the students toward Chris and Ray Johnson, his assistant coach. And of course, we've got a great assistant coach in Olivia Melvin on the ladies' side. So I'm really proud of this whole coaching staff that we have and the opportunities that they're bringing for these students.
And always when we converse, I'm thinking about the athletic side because that's what we're involved with. But obviously, a much larger side of South Georgia Tech is the academic side. So the last time we talked, I know there were new things coming. What about this year, a year later? Is there still more on the horizon?
There is. We're real excited that we have just at the end of 2024, we've just received approval from the Georgia Board of Nursing to begin accepting students for our LPN to RN bridge program. That's for students who are already, I say students, people who are in the community already practicing as a licensed practical nurse can come back. And in one more year, they can get their RN and sit for their RN license. That's big for South Georgia Tech to be able to offer that. And it's big for our athletes because there's a lot of biology courses and courses that are readily transferable to D1 schools, which all of our athletes aspire to do that, to transfer on to a D1 school. And those courses transfer a lot better, especially if they're wanting to go into the medical side of sports science. And so I know a lot of them are taking some of those biology classes that we've just recently started offering because of the RN program. So that's big for everyone.
I imagine that process is very extensive. So we won't ask you to take us through the entire process, but length of time, is that something that you give birth to idea-wise years in advance? How long does it take that to come to fruition?
It has been years. We got serious about it. Probably about 15 months ago. The application process was at least a year long. The application is almost like a college or a doctoral dissertation that you submit to the Georgia Board of Nursing because you've got to have your plan not just plan in place, but you've already should already have committed some resources and finances to the program before they will approve the program. So there's a lot into it. We've already hired the 3 nursing staff that we had to hire in addition to that biology instructor. So yes, there's a lot of preparation that goes into that.
I picture you as a goal-oriented kind of guy, and that when one goal is achieved, you've already thought about the next one, what you want to pursue next. So what does John Wadford want to pursue next?
We have a lot of opportunities for students at South Georgia Tech, and our goal is to continue to increase those opportunities without minimizing what we already do. Our mission is workforce education. And we have just signed a new partnership with AGCO. We've talked before about our partnerships with Caterpillar and John Deere. Well, AGCO is seller of Fendt and Massey Ferguson tractors. And so that covers 2 more bases with diesel tractors and a partnership where they'll be supplying training for our instructors and our students, as well as equipment supplies. So we've just signed that agreement. We'll be moving forward with putting that in place during the year 2025. We're also very excited about the opportunity to continue to work with Georgia Southwestern State University. They have a new president over there, Dr. Michelle Johnston, and she's coming to us from coastal Georgia. And she is on fire for partnerships with both South Georgia Tech and with our Sumter County school system. And we've already had several meetings and are working toward that end. So that's going to open up some articulation agreements for students to be able to continue their education after they leave South Georgia Tech, if they once they get employed, or even if they choose not to go straight into the workforce and want to go straight into that bachelor degree opportunity, that will be available to them. So all those things are on the drawing boards and in the process of implementation now, and we're really excited about that.
One thing I see when I drive past junior college campuses, all over the country, is a lot of construction. So we've talked about academics, athletics. What about the physical aesthetics there on campus? I mean, is there things that you would like to see built or constructed over the course of the next 5 to 10 years?
Yes, sir. We definitely want to see our dorms expanded. We call them dorms. I know that's kind of an antiquated terminology, but our college has been around a while. But our residence halls, we have 250 beds in our residence halls. And even when right now our enrollment's up, and we actually had to turn away students that were on a waiting list to go into the residence halls. And from a president standpoint, you never want to turn students away. We want everyone. But we just didn't have a place for them. And so we try to put them in online classes and things like that, but they really wanted to live on campus. So we want to expand that opportunity for our students. And we're also expanding the gym. That project is already on the ground. You'll see some construction in the gym even as we speak. At the front part of the gym, it won't affect the game other than where the facilities might be used in the concessions area. But we're going to continue to expand that out and add classrooms and an exercise room for our general student body, but add classrooms for our rec and leisure management program that is part of our academic offerings down here in the gym.
I'm going to bring it full circle and go back to athletics. Do you foresee at some point additional sports there at South Georgia Tech?
I never want to rule out anything. Whatever we do, we want to be great at it. We never want to just have something just to say, yeah, we've got that program. But we also want it to be able to sustain its own cost. We don't use state dollars. We don't use taxpayer money to finance our JETS program. We use local dollars and Booster Club monies, and we're very grateful to our Booster Club and our Booster Club members for that. But we're able to balance those with those budgets. If we ever were to add, we would probably start, because we have tennis courts. We may have a tennis team. We may add track, maybe even a softball team, because we have a softball field. But all those would be on the 5-year strategic plan, let me say, rather than the next year or two strategic plan.
Dr. John Wadford, president of South Georgia Tech, it is always a pleasure to talk to you, and obviously an honor to be able to stream JETS basketball. Thanks for being our halftime guest.
Thank you, Robert. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Second half action underway in a key conference matchup. Winner of this one is in the driver's seat to host come the quarterfinals. Has got a foul on the Osina drive. Osina, Baldwin, Payne, as well as Thompson. And let's see who that fifth member is. Is it Johnson? It is, so the same five that began the game. Beginning half number 2 for Georgia Highlands. And the same is true for the Jets. They've got the starting 5 at the beginning of the game as their starting 5 at the beginning of the second half. Ewing, Martellus, Dixon, Fitzgerald, and Brown. So a very important second half underway. And you're talking about with both teams in control of their own destiny from the standpoint of hosting should they win. If they lose, then they got to count on somebody else to help them out a little bit. Put in play in the corner. Bond thought about it, decides not to. Bond quickly on the floor is Bartellus. Well, check that. That is not Bartellus who has left. It is Fitzgerald who came out of the ball game quickly. Fitzgerald to the sidelines, and in comes Bond, given to Dixon. Blocked out of bounds off Thompson. We gave you some team numbers at the half. Taking a look at some of the individual numbers, the leading scorer in the first half for the Chargers was Thompson with 11, the top rebounder. Payne with 3. The assist leader Payne as well. He had 4. Most time on the floor, Payne at 16:26. Bond with an air ball. Georgia Highlands with it. Thompson cuts it to just a 2-point game. Meanwhile, foul issues for Chargers. 3 for Cooper, 2 for Baldwin, 2 for French. Brown over to Dixon. It has been a quiet game for Dixon. Shot blocked by Thompson. Had to put up a prayer. It will bounce off the backboard. Into the hands of Payne. And an opportunity for Georgia Highlands to tie or take the lead. Thompson off the rim. Bartelis had it, lost it, tipped back onto the floor. Thompson with it. Rebounded by Brown. Kicks it over to Dixon. Meanwhile, first half scoring. As a matter of fact, just about every one of those categories, scoring, rebounds, and assists, belong to one guy, Ewing. 15 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Darryl Bott also had 2 assists. And Ewing stayed on the floor longer than any other Jet. 18 minutes and 22 seconds in the first half. Foul issues, well, there are a few with 2. You got Mabali with 2. You've got Yakiman with 2. You have got Bartelis with 2. Bench scoring 8 points for the Chargers, 9 for the Jets. Off turnovers, 4 for the Chargers, and 18 for the Jets. That's the difference in the game right there, or was in the first half. Bounced around the rim and then drops in for Johnson. And what was once a double-digit lead, now a tie game at 42. Given to Brown, handoff to Bartelis, and he will lose it, bringing it down low. Best first half run, South Georgia Tech, 15-3 run. Georgia Highlands, a 6-0 run. And for the first time since early in the game, Chargers with an opportunity to take the lead. Johnson picking up the dribble down low. It goes to Osina. Back to Payne. Off the mark. Bartelis with the board. Ewing with it, top side, 4 minutes into the half. Hand off to Pod. Spins. Almost recovered from a mishandling of that basketball and then did draw the foul. So Pod to the stripe, but it'll be after the timeout. Knotted up at 42.
Georgia Technical College, where we make it happen.
Whether your dream is to become a welder, a nurse, a restaurant owner, electrician, or aircraft mechanic, South Georgia Technical College can help you make it happen. SGTC has over 200 associate degree, diploma, and technical certificate of credit programs of study available. Visit our website at southgatech.edu for more information or to apply, or call 800-928-0283.
So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen.
.45 to go in the game, 42 each. These teams, by the way, no stranger to overtime games. Jets have been in 4 this year. And in those OT games have gone 3-1. Meanwhile, a couple of OT games for the Chargers, and they are 1-1 in overtime, not suggesting we go the OT route. I'm good with wrapping it up in the allotted 40 minutes. But if need be, OT's been kind to the Jets. The lone loss was to Albany Tech. Short from Bond. That one was perfect, and 1-for-1 goes Bond to make it a 3-point game. Fan down low to Osina, pumped from the backside by Ewing. And you're going to have a Bond foul. That'll be his first, and Osina goes to the stripe. Osina in the first half, 2 for 2 from the line. 1 for 2 there. Rebounded by Martellus. Bond working it into the paint and the elbow. Martellus backing it out. Back over to Bond. Martellus with a pull up near the stripe, just a little bit long. Brown able to come down with the board. And that'll be tipped out of bounds. I thought it got the fingertips of Shannon, but apparently did not. And it'll be Charger basketball. We were tied at 42. We're tied at 43 now. And I'm not sure we had any first half ties. Yep, one. And that was very, very early. Biggest Jet lead has been 14. That was when it was 26-12. Ewing shoving aside the defensive Thompson, and will be called with the offensive. Jets have scored 1 point in nearly 6 minutes of basketball. Don't have a second half field goal. Thompson with it, top side. Works his way down low. Loose ball, retrieved by Osina. Payne with it, brings it into the paint. From the top side, that is Shannon. Rebounded by Bond. Then kicked into the corner, retrieved by Thompson. Puts up the jumper, the two not there. Hit the shot clock and came back down. That is considered out of bounds. So let's see if the Jets here can end this drought. More than 6 minutes without a field goal. Given down low to Mabali. And Mabali is going to be charged with an offensive. Same thing that Ewing did earlier. Use the non-ball control hand to shove aside the defense, and he'll pick up his third. Payne's hitting it down low. Martellus tipped in and then stepping out with it is Bond. So it will stay Jet basketball. Check that. It will stay Charger basketball. And will be brought in from the baseline. Put in play by Payne. And now you got a foul on Payne. Or was that Osina? I saw the three, didn't see the other hand. Might it be a 3-0? It was Osina committing the foul. Yakiman to Dixon. Puts it up from near the elbow, off the rim. Rebounded by Pond. Pond misses, but he'll get fouled. And if it is Osina, that is 2 within the span of 30 seconds. Let's see if that's who committed the personal as Pond goes to the stripe. And it will be Osina. Daryl Pond, the sophomore from Paris. Where it's getting later or earlier, whichever you prefer. About 1:22 in the morning there in Paris, where Bond fans are watching. Two-point Jet lead, but still no second half Jet field goal. Fed over to Shannon. Swatted away by Mabali. Thompson able to pick it up. Throws it out of bounds, trying to get it to Nelson. And it'll be Jet basketball. Cooper coming into the game with 3. And Osina leaving the game for the Chargers with 2. Brown in and Mabali out for the Jets. Put in play to Yakiman. Given over to Martellus. What a needle threader that was by Martellus. And the first field goal in the second half belongs to Brown. Jets trying to get a little breathing room. Not breathing well with a 4-point lead, though. And it's Nelson in the corner, picking up the dribble. Over it goes to Thompson. He'll wind up on the floor, and you get a Martellus foul. That'll be the third on Martellus. Chargers to put it in play from the baseline, given to Nelson. Payne squares up, looks at Bond, drives off the window, and it's a 2-point game. Put in play to Yakiman. Dixon back to Yakiman. What a Dixon feed. Missed by Brown, but there was a reason. It appears that reason is either a 4 or a 5 held up by the official. I think it was a 4. If that be the case, it would be Nelson. Nope, it was a 5. And that would be Shannon. Timeout on the floor, 11:41 to go. Jets by 2. Just about all white. Jones County. Diving catch it, shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it. Well, if no other song does it, that one always seems to get a little movement. Now, granted, I'm an old guy, so I don't know what the song is. Hear it all the time. Don't know who does it. Probably should. Need to check with my daughter. She'll update me. But it gets folks moving in the hangar 100% of the time. Brown with the first of two. Brown's first trip to the line. And he will get both to make it a 4-point lead. That is a long Nelson three, loose ball, and reaching in is Dixon, taken away by Cooper, and a timeout on the floor. Jets, and it will preserve possession. And that makes one David Archer not particularly happy. It says, well, maybe right now is a good time to share my thoughts. Couple of ladies from France. There's Inola Papin. I'm not sure who the new lady from France wearing white is. In black is Papin. And then, of course, you've got Mr. Bond right next to Papin. A little sway into the music. I think now they've kind of figured out that the camera could be on them. And they're a little more shy with the prospect of the world seeing their dance moves. Bond to Brown, over to Dixon as we get back to the action. Vartelis in the split had to get rid of it. Bond's got it off the rim. Yakiman couldn't put it back. Well, it was like back and forth. Brown and Yakiman over the hoop. Yakiman drops that one in. Lead goes to 6. And I think Payne is maybe in pain. Trying to stretch out those calves. Well, at least that's what I think he was trying to stretch out. All's okay, and back to the action. Put in play to Nelson. And then it is back over to Payne. That sat on the rim a bit. Cooper was ready to put it back in, didn't have to. Given to Bond, down low, that is Dixon off the glass. Boy, a lot of bunnies missed. Yakiman able to get the follow-up and drew the foul as well. So Yakiman going to the strike. 6-footer out of Orlando. Trying to make that lead just a wee bit more comfortable. Increases it to 7. That'll go out of bounds off the Chargers. It'll be put in play for the baseline by Yakiman. The lob, the jam, Bartelis. Lead pushed out to 9. Isaiah feeding it down low. Cooper was there and easy too. Pull-up jumper. Yakiman a little bit short. Able to get it back. Feeds down low. Bonds pumps. Got the bucket, drew the foul. And Bond with an opportunity for 3 and a chance to extend the lead to double digits. So it officially appears as though the Jets have overcome that slow start. Didn't score a field goal in the second half until they were more than 6 minutes into the game. Or into the half. Shannon down with the board off the miss by Bond. Give it over to Shannon. Works his way into the paint. Got a decent look after getting by Brown. The other end of the floor. Bond plays it in. Back to a 9-point lead. Tipped out of bounds. Who touched it last? It will be Bond. Mabali coming into the game. Out will go Brown for the Jets. Back in is Johnson. As out will go Logan for the Chargers. Put in play from in front of the Jets bench. As we near the 9-minute mark. Johnson with a miss. Rebounded by Baldwin. Give goes to Nelson. Handed back to Johnson. And you got an offensive on Johnson. Knocked down Yakiman. So Yakiman puts it in play, inside 9 to go. Teams trying to break out of the 8 and 6 log jam. Bond short on the 3 try, put back by Mabali. And Mabali with 4. That is Nelson dropping in the 3 and got fouled by Yakiman. So Nelson with an opportunity for 4. One of those rare and certainly not old-fashioned 4s. Yakiman coming out of the game with 3 personals. Darius Willis, the freshman from Toronto, Canada, coming in for the Jets. Meanwhile, Dixon out and Ewing back in. Seven-point game with still a ton of time to go. Ewing with it out front. Works it left side. Willis out front. Thought about the 3. Picks it up near the stripe. Back over it goes to Ewing. Ewing down low, and he will bank it in. Jumper again. Hitting the long-range 3 is Nelson. Bottom with the drive. Spins left, right, then fires, trying to get it to Mapali. Stolen away by Baldwin. And a foul on the trip down. That is going to be charged to Willis. And it is going to bring us to a media timeout. (64-58) Jets.
Georgia Technical College, where we make it happen.
Whether your dream is to become a welder, a nurse, a restaurant owner, electrician, or aircraft mechanic, South Georgia Technical College can help you make it happen. SGTC has over 200 associate degree, diploma, and technical certificate of credit programs of study available. Visit our website at southgatech.edu for more information or to apply, or call 800-928-0283.
So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen.
It's okay. She's watching the game. Okay, maybe she's not watching the game. But it's still okay. 7:26 to play. 64-58 game. All right, what are we doing here? Looks like we're going to bring it in from the baseline. No, we got Willis shooting, which would mean somebody picked up a tee. First points of the game for Willis. And the Toronto, Canada native getting both. Chargers putting it in play. Baldwin to do the honors. Just about 7.5 to go in the half of the game. Trying to do a behind-the-back dribble was Nelson, and it winds up in Barteles' hands. Mapali blocked, loose ball. It will go out off of the Chargers. So Ewing to put it in play from the baseline. To Barteles to Bond. Down low to Mapali, backing his way in. He certainly has the advantage from a physical standpoint, standing 6'11". And with some pretty good size to boot. Not real good. Never worked a carnival where you guess weights, but I'm thinking he's at least 260, 270 with that 6'11 frame. Fit over to Baldwin. One block, two blocks, three blocks. Willis. And then taken away on the other end of the floor. Baldwin got it back. Goes over to Nelson. Nelson with a miss on the three. Bond with a board. Goes down low. Jammed in by Barteles. Back to a 10-point lead. That is Baldwin, slices it to 8. Shot down low, and then Barteles bumped out of bounds. But apparently no foul called. It will be Charger basketball. 8-point game, plenty of time left, 5:38. Key conference game. One team goes 9-6. Still in the driver's seat for hosting in a quarterfinal matchup. And the loser still has a shot, but dwindling hopes of hosting. Baldwin to the strike. Ewing picking up his third foul. Four points in the game for Baldwin. And good to hear from Dave Elner, the commissioner of the GCAA. They're in broadcast towers, Demorest, Georgia. 7th, or now is it the 8th floor? I'm not sure. They've done some construction since last year. Willis for three. Just a little bit short. Bodies on the floor and able to come up with it. Baldwin eventually into the hands of Nelson. And banked off the glass by Shannon. And you know that's all make-believe, right? There's no 8 floors to a GCAA headquarters in Demorest. Mavali couldn't do the reverse slam. Thompson going the other way. Nelson hitting the 3 ball. And all of a sudden it's a 3-point game again. 7 straight scored by the Chargers. Topside give to Bond. Drives down low, banks it in. Baldwin with a miss on the 3. Willis with a rebound. As we get inside, 4 to go. Timeout Jets. 3:44 to play. GCAA women's basketball, Albany Tech knocks off Central Georgia Tech 77-55. In baseball, Georgia Highlands a 22-zip win over USC Salkehatchie in 5. In game 2, they win 23-1. Wow. 45-1 in a doubleheader in baseball. That is impressive. I don't even care if Georgia Highlands was playing, the Dixie U 8-year-olds. When you score 22, wow. Big day for Charger baseball. 3:42 to play. Shot missed by Bartellus, but there is a travel. Jets will have it. Women's bracket set except for the 2 and 3 seed. That's yet to be determined. 1 seed is South Georgia Tech. 2 or 3 will be between East Georgia State and Albany Tech. One or the other will be 2. One or the other will be 3. Central Georgia Tech 4. Andrew College 5 and Southern Crescent 6. Put back by Ewing. And in women's basketball, quarterfinals happen on Monday. With East Georgia State or Albany Tech hosting Southern Crescent Tech or Central Georgia Tech will host Andrew. Well, actually, okay, let me clarify after reading further. East Georgia State or Albany Tech, the 2 will get a bye. The 3 will face Southern Crescent Tech in Monday's quarterfinals. And then you've got Central Georgia Tech taking on Andrew College in the other quarterfinal matchup. So there you go. Everything GCAA related for the moment. You're up to date. Compliments of Dave Elner. .72-68 game here with 3 to play. I can assure you the lead is not comfortable. Couple of missed opportunities. Nelson on the other end. The ollie and the oop. Thompson, it's a 2-point game. Ewing with it just outside of the paint. And you got a foul. It'll be charged to Thompson. And some big Ewing free throws. Everything from here on out big. Really too early to be worrying about 1 or 2 or 3 possessions, but it would be a 2-possession game if Ewing hits this. He doesn't. Rebounded by Baldwin. Over it goes to Shannon in the paint. And that'll be put back by Baldwin. It's a 73-71, a 73-72 one-point game. By getting the bounce. Johnson across the mid part of the floor. Into the corner it goes to Thompson. Lob down low, and you got a pod foul on Baldwin, who will go into the stripe with an opportunity to turn it into a one-point game. Well, again, as I've mentioned previously, a couple of teams that are no stranger to OT between the two. There have been 6 overtime games. Jets have had 4. They've played 28 games. 4 have gone to OT. I'm trying to figure out in my head what percentage that is, and I've given up. My math skills are so limited. I could pull out the calculator on my phone, but then I couldn't spin the camera. Couple of misses, big misses. Bartelis with a board. Keeps it a 3-point game and gives the chance for the Jets to build the lead to 2 possessions, but a block of the Brown shot. Fed over to Baldwin. He'll lay it up and in. It's a 1-point game. Now the possessions become big. Dixon trying to flick it into Bartelis. Loose ball retrieved by Brown. Brings it into the paint a little bit strong. And it is the Chargers with a basketball and a chance to claim the lead. There is a foul in the paint on the Nelson drive. So Nelson shooting 2. 1 ties it. 2 changes the name atop the leaderboard. It is a 1-point Charger lead. That is their first lead since very early in the game. Well, we got a foul and we got a jump ball. Looks like we've got a foul. And it'll be charged to Thompson. So you know the routine. 1 to tie, 2 to take the lead. Ewing with 20 points in the game. One more from the Augusta, Georgia product. He'll get them both. Still a 1-point game, and now the Jets with the lead. Nearly lost the dribble, did Johnson. Nelson packing it out in the midcourt. Then brings it to the arc, to the paint. Fades, fires, hits it, gets fouled as well. Wow, what a huge basket by Nelson. He had 24 the last time these two teams met. That was his 19th in this one. A 79-77 Charger lead. Timeout on the floor, Jets with 17 seconds to go. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's still kind of a small community. We want a big metro. Lots of subscribers. If you've already subscribed and you talk to a cousin, kinfolk, mom, dad, they haven't, you could go say what? Why not? Here's how. And we'll thank you in advance. Access to games, shows, interviews, clips, and more, all on our YouTube channel. "17 seconds left. Shot clock off. And let's see what the Jets do. Do they play for the tie or the win? Try to score with nothing left on the clock. Ewing's got it. Nearly lost the dribble. Taking it baseline. Banked it. Got fouled too. Ewing. A chance to win the game. Although there is obviously 2.1 left on the clock. There's a chance. If you are the Chargers. But you like your chances if you are the Jets. Well, that was just willpower. Ewing was determined. Drew the foul, a chance to turn it into a 1-point lead with 2.1 to go. Big free throw. Well, there is time. There's not a lot of time. Did Ewing just seal it up? Or can the Chargers come back in 2 seconds? We'll find out. Ladies basketball, a timeout you can bring into the mid part of the floor. That's not true in men's basketball. So the Chargers will have to bring it in from the opposite end of the floor, and they're going to have to get it over the tallest Jet figure. That is Mabali, who is checked back into the game at 6'11". Well, these kind of basketball prayers have been answered before, but let's see if the Chargers can pull off the improbable. Tipped out of bounds by Bartelis onto the floor. Time runs out. Jets win it. 80-79, your final score. Huge win for the Jets. Improving to 9-6 in conference play. 11-18 overall, but that overall really doesn't matter a heck of a lot. Right now it's that conference record. And the Jets are still in control of their own destiny as far as hosting a quarterfinal. This one is over. Thanks so much for watching. We will see you back here on Friday. Want to watch some basketball tomorrow? We'll be in Alabama for the ACCC quarterfinals. And, of course, the men of South Georgia Tech take on Gordon in a huge game on Saturday. See you then for all of us at South Georgia Tech and JockJive. I'm Robert Williamson. So long, everybody.